The Bermuda Triangle, that legendary and spooky section of the Atlantic Ocean where dozens of ships and airplanes have disappeared, mainly without any explanation. It was a source of inspiration for William Shakespeare himself, and if you drop a ball inside, it will bounce off and fly directly to space. Wait, what? That last one doesn't sound true. Well, let's see how well you know the Bermuda Triangle. I'll give you some statements, both true and false, and you'll have to decide which one is right. Keep track of your correct answers. When preparing for a journey through the Bermuda Triangle, you must pack a compass. True or false? You could, but it would be more of a souvenir. The triangle is one of the only places on our planet where a compass will point to the true north, not the magnetic north. True north is a point on the globe that's stable. Magnetic north is a direction a compass needle shows aligning with the planet's magnetic field. It shifts and changes over time. So if you follow the compass directions in this area, you'll most likely go off course. Christopher Columbus successfully sailed through the Bermuda Triangle. Does it sound real to you? It's true. On his very first voyage to the New World in 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed through the Bermuda Triangle. He reported that one night, while he was on the ship's deck, he noticed a giant light appear in the distance, unlike anything he'd ever seen before. Columbus looked at his compass for direction, which indicated erratic readings. Yep, you know it by now. You'll easily find the Bermuda Triangle on any world map. Sounds legit to me. What's your take on it? Nope, you won't. It doesn't appear on any world map because official institutions refuse to acknowledge that the area actually exists. So, if you really want to find it, look in the area between Florida, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda. There are pyramids on the bottom of the triangle. What do you say? False. Some strange creatures are lying down there at the bottom. Some people claim they look like giant pyramids, but those aren't pyramids at all. It's the so-called Bimini Road. It lies northwest of the shore of the North Bimini Island. It consists of two strange rock formations. Both look suspiciously like building blocks. Research has proven that the underlying ground layers beneath the Bimini Road feature nothing but bedrock with no possible cavities. So these rocks definitely can't be part of a building. The Bermuda Triangle inspired William Shakespeare to write one of his famous plays. That's a true story. It was The Tempest. The shipwreck in Shakespeare's play is based on a 17th century ship, Sea Venture. The ship was carrying supplies from England to Virginia when a massive storm struck it in the Bermuda Triangle. It had been trying to get out for 3 days and barely reached the shore. Survivors of the wreck were stranded on a lonely stretch of Bermuda for 9 months. Talk about to be or not to be. Sailors returned home to England to tell stories of treacherous waters near the Bahamas where the ships mysteriously disappeared. These stories made it back to the bard himself and inspired his final play about a storm at sea transporting a ship to a mysterious island. Ships try to avoid the triangle at all costs. Do you think it could be true? Not at all. This area is one of the world's most heavily traveled shipping routes. Some skeptics believe that this fact solves the Bermuda Triangle mystery. Well, maybe they do have a point. The busier the area, the higher the frequency of accidents and disappearances. But then again, it's not the number of disappearances that makes the place so mysterious. It's the lack of explanation and wreckage lost for good. A popular theory says the lost city of Atlantis is hiding in the Bermuda Triangle. True or false? That's correct. One of the most popular and bizarre theories trying to solve the Bermuda Triangle mystery comes from Charles Berlitz. He insisted that the area was home to the lost city of Atlantis. Millions of people bought his book, and some have expanded his theory. They believe the mythical city, also pronounced mythical city, lying down there, is using some special energy crystals to sink ships and planes. The Bermuda Triangle is home to the deepest point in the world's ocean. Sounds true to me. What do you say? Well, looks like my intuition has failed me this time. The Bermuda Triangle is home to the deepest point in the Atlantic Ocean, the Milwaukee Deep. The record depth here is over 27,000 feet. It's one of the deepest points on the ocean floor, but it cannot compete with the impressive Challenger Deep at 35,000 feet. That's located in the western Pacific Ocean at the southern end of the Mariana Trench. Well, I still think the Bermuda Triangle is deep enough to explain at least some of the wreckage disappearances. There's more than one Bermuda Triangle in the world. True or false? Well, it's true and false. Of course, the Bermuda one is unique, but there are other places where ships and planes go missing. Alaska, for example, has its own triangle. Since the late 1980s, 16,000 people have disappeared there without a trace. There's no one around to tell us what it felt like. Back in 1950, a plane took off from Anchorage and headed for Great Falls, Montana. It was carrying 8 crew members and 36 passengers. 2 hours after the flight started, the captain said everything was fine. Then the plane seemed to evaporate into thin air. 85 aircraft and around 7,000 people searched for the plane. No trace was found, not even a screw, bolt, nada. Off the coast of Japan, not far away from Tokyo, there's an area where plenty of ships vanish without a trace. They call it the Dragon's Triangle. There's a really high concentration of methane hydrates on the bottom of the ocean in the Pacific Triangle area. This gas tends to explode whenever the ocean reaches more than 64 degrees Fahrenheit. When it happens, bubbles start forming on the water surface. These gas eruptions can interrupt the ability to float and quickly sink a ship. Because of this chemical reaction, there won't be a trace left. Underwater volcanoes could be another possible explanation for the Japanese Dragon's Triangle. They can take down even small islands. The biggest ship ever to have gone missing in the triangle was the Titanic. Does it sound legit to you? Nope, you can't blame that one on the Bermuda Triangle, of course. The Titanic had a meeting with an iceberg. The USS Cyclops was the largest ship that ever disappeared in this mysterious area. In March 1918, carrying a crew of 306 people, the USS Cyclops left Barbados and headed home to Baltimore. The ship passed through the Bermuda Triangle on its journey and was never seen again. The Cyclops never issued any distress signal and disappeared without any explanation. No one has ever managed to find any wreckage of it. The magnetic field in the Bermuda Triangle area is weaker than in any other part of the planet. Well, what do you say? This one is true. Astronauts of the International Space Station noticed that. The magnetic field is a shield that protects Earth from solar radiation. Above the triangle, the particles of the sun's rays move faster than in any other part of the planet. This causes unstable work of electronics of satellites flying in the atmosphere of Earth. It doesn't affect ships and planes, though, but it doesn't mean they're safe. The weather in the area is pretty unpredictable and intense. Storms come and go in the blink of an eye. That's probably why pilots don't see the bad weather coming and can't issue a distress signal on time. Okay, it's time to do some math. If you have 7 or more correct answers, it looks like you know the Bermuda Triangle really well. If you have less than 7 correct answers, you might want to brush up on your knowledge. We have some videos just for that. That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.